Grammys 2026 Snubs and Surprises. Lorde, Gracie Abrams, Moroney, and Extra Close out of nominations. Narrowing down the past 12 months' releases to determine what music earns a nomination at the 2026 Grammys can't be in smooth assignment. The Recording Academy unveiled the whole listing of nominees for the 68th Annual Grammy Awards on Friday, November 7th, and artists like Kendrick Lamar and Girl Gaga came out on top with the most nods. However, some acts have been shut out of the competition altogether, even while others' inclusions came as a surprise. In spite of earning primary chart successes this year, stars like Lorde, Gracie Abrams, and Moroney didn't acquire any nominations. Meantime, songs from hit movies like Depraved and K-pop Demon Hunters were gotten even more love than many fanatics may have anticipated. Ahead of the imminent Grammy Awards ceremony on the Crypto.com Arena in LA on Feb 1st, 2026, here are a number of the biggest snubs and surprises from the nominations. Snubs. Lorde. Lorde returned to the highlight in advance this 12 months with her fourth studio album, Virgin, satiating fanatics who waited about 4 years since her last full-period release, 2021's Solar Energy. The new album's lead single, What Was That?, reached the top 40 of the Billboard Warm 100, while second single, Man of the Year, sparked a viral TikTok fashion. Virgin reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 albums chart and marked a sonic go back to form for the New Zealand artist, earning critical acclaim. Upon hitting the scene with the hit tune Royals and its accompanying album Pure Heroine, extra a decade in the past, Lorde received 2 Grammys at the 2014 ceremony and later earned an Album of the Year nomination for her second album, 2018's Melodrama. The Weeknd. The Weeknd has an interesting relationship with the Grammys. He earned his first nomination in 2014 and then took home 2 awards in 2016 for his Beauty Behind the Madness album and its single, Earned It, plus another in 2018 for Starboy. In 2021, the artist announced he was boycotting the Grammys and called the awards display corrupt for loss of transparency behind the scenes. That year, he also declared he'd no longer permit his record label to post his tune to the award show. Gracie Abrams. Gracie Abrams has been seemingly everywhere this year. If you haven't seen her touring arenas or playing big competition stages, you've probably heard "It's Really So True" on the radio or TikTok. The single was released in November 2024 on the deluxe version of Abrams' The Secret of Us album and eventually reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Abrams was nominated for Best New Artist at the 2024 Grammys and earned a nod for Us with Taylor Swift in the Best Pop Duo or Grouping Performance class at last year's ceremony. However, she failed to get hold of any nominations for the 2026 Grammy Awards. Moroney. Moroney debuted on the country scene in 2022 with the top 10 hit Tennessee Orange and saw major success with her 2024 album Am I OK? And while the body of work was released before the upcoming Grammy Awards eligibility period started at the end of August 2024, she dropped a deluxe version in October 2024. Function Model. Function Model had a breakthrough year in 2025 with the deluxe version of his album Kansas Anymore, featuring the inescapable viral hit Sally When the Wine Runs Out. She appeared the track on tour with Gracie Abrams and at festivals and his own headlining shows, bringing out Grammy winners like Olivia Rodrigo and Charlie XCX, plus past nominees including Troye Sivan and Lewis Kaplan as her Sally on stage. Notwithstanding the buzz, Function Model didn't ultimately land any nominations for the 2026 Grammy Awards. Surprises. Depraved in a pop category. The Depraved soundtrack earned 3 nominations at the 2026 Grammy Awards, including Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media and Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media includes film and television. Its 3rd nomination, however, is a bit of unexpected. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's Defying Gravity earned a nod for Best Pop Duo or Grouping Performance, which is technically a show tune, alongside pop hits like Rolls and Bruno Mars's APT and Cat's Eye's Gabriella. K-pop Demon Hunters keep going up, up, up. K-pop Demon Hunters feels like it's taken over the world since the animated musical film hit Netflix in June. It's charted 4 songs from its soundtrack in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, including the number 1 hit, Golden, performed by EJA, Ray Ami, and Audrey Nuna as fictional band Hunter X. The film earned 4 nominations at the 2026 Grammy Awards: Song of the Year, Best Pop Duo or Grouping Performance, and Best Song Written for Visual Media for Golden, plus Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media for the soundtrack album. Previously, BTS was the only K-pop group to earn any Grammy nominations, although they haven't won, so it's possible the girls of Hunter could make history. Milli Vanilli gets a second chance. Many people remember the story of Milli Vanilli, the R&B duo fronted by Fabrice Morvan and Rob Pilates that shot up the charts in the late 1980s with hits like Girl You Know It's True and Blame It on the Rain. However, it was then discovered that Morvan and Pilates were not the vocalists on any of Milli Vanilli's songs. The Recording Academy eventually revoked the duo's Grammy Award for Best New Artist, marking the only time the organization has ever done so. For the past few years, Morvan has spoken in depth about his experience in Milli Vanilli and told people in 2023, "Without this music and this journey, I wouldn't be who I am today." Pilates died of a suspected overdose in 1998.